All right, good morning. Good morning. So far, not really going anywhere. Could be making the move up though. As we speak, essentially. Market's still not really going anywhere. That is all right. We are getting a little push up now. First 5 minutes of the session have been pretty boring. You could definitely say. But we'll see how she does moving forward. Looks like this definitely could be a higher time frame bull flag that's starting to play out here. Guess I should mark some of these levels. 58.5. Alright, that's the overnight high there. So we're making our way towards slowly. More choppy today. So far, first 5 minutes were pretty up and down. Then the last 2 minutes we finally kind of went for the highs there, but now we're already seeing our potential red candle. But we might hold. Push to the all-time highs, we'll see. Or not all-time, just the overnight. Definitely not all-time. See, not the worst chop at the market open, but definitely a little bit of up and down. And so we could get even like a bull flag here off this 9 EMA and kind of get a little bit of that bullish direction here. The ATR is pretty high as well, 27. So the market is actually quite volatile. It looks like this might go on without me. Typically don't like the 2 candle flags. I feel like it needs a little bit more than just 2 candles to kind of create the flag, but sometimes I do take it if it's a good enough of a pullback. I hate those random direction candles. Yeah. That's what I was saying. But I would like to think that this big green candle means something for the continuation of the uptrend, but we'll see. Still got some time before the 15-minute range is set. I believe we have no news today. Let me just double check though. Yeah, we definitely had some continuation in the overnight in the Asia session. Yeah, I definitely would imagine we get some sort of move here. Maybe this is it here. Maybe we sweep the highs and then we take out the lows and just go shorter. Or lower, I guess. We'll see though. I imagine it'd be a little cleaner though if we take out the overnight highs and then make the move down. But looks like the sellers are stepping up already. Yeah, no, if we can hold below the 770, definitely could be good for the shorts. We also have the London highs that we're currently sitting at 33.5. We're bouncing off them right now. Let's see. Right there. So imagine as well as if we can get below the London high, that'll also be a good indicator if we're going lower. So far we're kind of disrespecting it as we speak. Could be changing the trend here soon. Yes, kind of doing the same thing, maybe lagging behind just a little bit. Yeah, pretty good momentum so far. Still kind of holding around the London high though. Kind of got back up to it. I imagine we do take this low out, and then we either reject and go back up, or make our way down to VWAP, which is at 659 currently. here's the lows. Right here. Pow, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Back up retest 778, then shorts. That could be the move right there. That is kind of a big pullback though. That's almost 100 points now. But doesn't mean we won't do it. But also the way this is moving, you might kind of miss out on the short. Not trying to give you any FOMO, but yeah, the way this is kind of moving, we might just start going. Yeah, no, that was a good close. This candle is a little hesitant. Well, we'll see how this next one does if we because we could easily just eat up this wick, continue lower to view up. Yeah, it does make sense. One good continuation move. Oh yeah, let's see what it does. Yeah, this 1 minute candle looks like it doesn't want to go any lower. But again, the 1 minute chart is obviously very deceiving because you can have the next candle like this one just go all the way through it like it's nothing. So might be looking for a long scalp. Ooh, at 95. Yeah, it could pop up a little bit. Could be kind of nice. Oh, that fair value gap though is kind of had a nice reaction off of it, but it looks like it's not going to hold very well. A little scary, but the long could still work, and I think it will get back up to like the 18, maybe 20 area because we do have the 9 EMA right there. I mean, it's only natural that we kind of pull back into that and find some support. So I definitely wouldn't be too greedy on this, but I definitely would imagine we do pull back into this area for sure. Maybe even retest the London high up here at the 33s. The ATR is higher than I thought. It's a 31. I might need to like size down or something. That's my thinking too. Yeah, kind of just makes sense. Break even. It's too wiki. Yeah, no. The way that these 3 candles have all closed basically in the exact same spot with wicks on the bottom, making that kind of bear flag. Like if it takes one of these wicks out, it's probably going to take all of them out. Potentially. I might even go for the scalp if we get down there for that momentum play. But yeah, kind of high volatility right now, so don't know if my 12.5 points is going to be the best. But I might keep up. I might keep it for now. Oh yeah, it always does that. That's the market makers. Can't forget about the market makers. They love to chop around until you give up and then make the move. Or they just like to stop you out first. That's always on the table as well. Now, like it's happened to me enough. Like I probably couldn't count on my fingers how many times it's done that, where it just stops me out, break even, or at a loss, and then 1 minute later makes the move. Like there was one trade, I think it was even like last week. I held that sucker for like 10 or 15 minutes. And I thought for sure, like, okay, it's not going up. It's getting a little scary. I'm gonna get out. I get out, literally the next minute it pops up. Like I could have waited like 1 extra minute and made like some good money. But no. Unreal. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Look at the gold. Like gold futures. I don't even know if I have that on my watch list. I usually just trade. I have crude oil. No, I usually just trade NASDAQ and keep an eye on some of the things related to NASDAQ. Gold is just too volatile. Interesting. Especially if when we're talking about NQ. NQ is usually the most volatile. But I guess gold could be a little extra volatile right now with stuff going on. So it could make sense. Yeah, that was the move. Like you said, up to the 770s as well. That's where we're at right now. Short 73. Oh boy. Hopefully it doesn't just pop up to the highs. That definitely would be a possibility, which would be very unfortunate for you. Because we definitely, yeah, we had a lot of buyers step in here. But I definitely would still kind of like the shorts, just with how we had this move down here. But the buyers are just kind of relentless here. ES also looking like it wants to maybe take these highs out. Almost like super identical to NQ. You can almost barely tell the difference. All Richard, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Stopped out. Dang it. Could just be one of those days. Yesterday, I mean, you saw the morning. We literally like took highs out. Or no. We took out lows, took out highs, took out lows, took out highs, and then we took out lows. Like it was just one of those days. And today looks like it has potential to be one of those days. I don't 900 last night, took half back now. That's good, you're still in profits. But it does suck to give up profits for sure. That last trade was a revenge trade. It definitely could be seen as one for sure, especially after just taking the other loss and missing the win, which, well, not loss, but the break even, and then seeing it go up. Like definitely like easy to let the emotions take control there. But you did say you were gonna wait for that retest or like wait for the pullback to 770 and then short. So technically it's still kind of in your plan. But like you said, should have maybe waited for it to reject 70 better. But also this red candle, I mean, it's hard to look what is really a rejection, right? So we're popping the highs though. This is the 15-minute range high, which we could get a nice retest off of. We do have the overnight highs coming up as well. I almost tempted to throw on like a little short, see if we just get like a little bounce back off of it. Could be better to wait for a little bit of a confirmation of the rejection. Yeah, it really popped that there. Also, if we pull back to this is something I'd also typically take. So we'll see what kind of happens first, but I don't think I'm going to take both of these trades. I think I'm just kind of sitting, like if we kind of hit this, we might get the little rejection down.
Order filled.
Oh dang, that is such a small 12.5 points. Not a lot right now. Might need to go a little wider and size down. But the idea here is to get just a quick little move. I think I will just go break even. We're up like 130 bucks, but we're kind of just, we're not really getting the move. It still could happen. But again, with something like this, especially if I'm only in like 12.5 points, I'm definitely kind of looking for a quick reaction, right? Like if it wants to bounce, it's going to bounce. And because it didn't like immediately bounce, no point in doing anything silly. Plus, I mean, look at that, right? That's what I was kind of afraid of. So it looks like we might have made the right call there. Yeah, back down the 20s would have been good. I imagine we still kind of get back and kind of find some support on the 15-minute opening range. Yeah, that was kind of it wasn't a bad idea, but it looks like we still just popped. Oh, I gave it all back. Yeah, Fridays are the worst. I forgot about that. We have had that conversation before.
Order submitted.
All right, since we didn't fail and find support at the overnight heights, I imagine since we closed above, we find the support going up. Kind of just a little wicky though still.
Target filled.
All right, there we go. See, that's kind of what I'd look for with that kind of move. It's very quick. And the HR is pretty high. But like if we're bouncing, we're bouncing. And if we're not, then like I'm taking the break even as quick as possible. It sucks that you give back your profits though. But the buyers are just, they're not messing around. Definitely could have been a little bit better to wait for that confirmation or more confirmation. We did have a nice wick out of the overnight highs, but yeah, really hard to know what's going to do there. Eden Balkan, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, good momentum. Definitely a good little trade there. So now let's see what happens. Short 85. Okay, so far it's a pretty good short. Back down to 20s would be a great move. I definitely would imagine we do make it back down and find support on this 15-minute range high. Yeah, definitely gotta be careful, but if you do make it all back, I definitely would also be done. Don't want to overtrade or anything like that. But it does look like we are going to get a nice pullback here. Yeah, that's a nice little pop. The white line is where you made entry correct. Not exactly. If you're talking about this white line, no. But if you're talking about, you can see these little white arrows, or the blue one. That's kind of where I went. You can see this blue arrow, that's where I went along here, and the white is where I exited. At 45, I think I'm done. Nice. It looks like you might get the full move, but hey, like I always say, it's always good to lock in profits. There's always the hindsight of, oh, I should have held, but also, if you make money, you make money. So, Phantom, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. It looks like I might find some support at that 90 MA and this fair value gap here. Yeah, you can also kind of see just like that little green line in between the arrows. And that just kind of shows the move. So I had a little break-even trade, like $10 here. It's a little hard to see, but then this one was that little quick scalp for 250. Sushi King. Thank you for the follow. We got another one. Alright, let's see how we react down here. If we can find some supports or not. So we might make it back down to that. Oh, I almost put an order there. I don't know though. Looks like it is getting a little bit of a bounce. Definitely tempting. But might have kind of missed it. Yeah. We had a little bounce up. I probably would have gone sub top break even there if I was being quick with it. We were up, would have been up like 9-10 points, it looks like, at the top of this wick. And then, yeah, oh wow, the sellers, geez. Got my 40 points back. I think I might stop. Got my 800 back. Yeah, personally, I would if I was in that situation. Definitely don't. Not trying to tell you what to do. But in my opinion, if that was me, just as far as my emotions go, I would definitely hate to give back any money, especially, yeah, after getting some of it back too. Very nice. Very nice. Could have an inverse on the 5-minute though of this gap, which could be very good for the bears, especially after sweeping the overnight highs like this. Kind of holding the 90 MA on the 5 minutes, but we're also kind of making our way back down there. We'll see what happens in the next 3.5 minutes. My live account back in April, I got super greedy, made about 4K, literally gave it all back in 3 trades. Shoot. I feel like every trader's been there, whether it's a live account or even, yeah, just like prop firms. It's like you make a nice amount of money. Maybe even it takes like some weeks or months of like, oh, like I'm a profitable trader, right? It's like you spend a whole month building up like 2-3K in profit, and then you give it back in literally, yeah, like 3 days or 3 trades, depending on like how you trade. Really stunk. Couldn't believe that. Yeah. It's literally the worst. I haven't quite lost 4K like that in 3 trades with live money, but I've definitely blown prop firm accounts and given back like profit that I was up. Like I was had a funded account with Tradeify, one of the like straight to funded, so I was up like 5K. So I was like over halfway to a payout. It's obviously not like actual money, but like technically like I had made $5,000. I just wasn't able to like withdraw and take the payout yet. And then yeah, like I had like 2 or 3 days in a row. I took like only one trade a day, but then literally I gave back all 5K within like 2 or 3 days. So I lost like $2,000 each day and blew up my account. I was like, what just happened? Okay, so you made 4K in 1 day. And then gave it back after lunch. Okay, that's a little different, but still, I can imagine the emotions on that would have been insane. Because I've done that like on a smaller level with like the prop firms. It's like you make like 600 or even like 900 or something. And then you end up like negative 2,000 or like negative 1,500 on the day. And you're like, that was not supposed to happen. I was I'm up like 600. How am I down, $1,000 on the day after being up 600 or like even more sometimes? Yeah, definitely worth taking a little 2-week break after that. Yeah, the market loves to take it back. That is the tricky part of trading. They give and then they take. So you got to be very careful. That's why, I mean, typically with my trading, and sometimes it isn't the best. I don't know why I couldn't stop myself. No, I think it's, I mean, again, I think we've all been there. It's like, why didn't I stop myself? Like, that was so stupid, or whatever you want to say. But it's so easy to like not be able to accept a loss, especially after all morning when you won like one big super trade or like even a couple small ones. It's like, well, surely I can win more. Or you lose a couple trades, it's like, well, surely I can make that back, right? Because it's easy to have like this false sense of confidence in your ability to trade and get blinded by greed or even just like pride or something like that. Because again, like I've definitely been there too, and it's like, what was I even thinking? You know, like that was just dumb. But like it just happens, and it's like I don't even know. Yeah, like how the frick did that just happen? Definitely a good lesson to be learned from. But again, I've done that even after learning the lesson in quotations. So it's rough, and it put me into a spot where like again, like you said, like it's tough to make like 500. Like even on this account, it's like 50K account. It's like I'm up like 250. It's not a lot, but it's still pretty decent for a 50K account. And like it's almost like why would I trade again if I already like won, you know? But at the same time, I don't do the same thing when I lose. Like if I lose a trade, I think I can make it back. But then I end up losing another trade and then I'm down 500. You know? And at that point it's like, well, 500 sucks. So maybe I can take another trade and make some of it back, you know, and then you're down 750 or whatever. And then it turns into a spiral of getting out of control. But it's like most days I don't keep trading after I'm up 250 or 500 because I know like I can't guarantee not giving back that profit, which I don't want to happen. Yeah, now I have a set amount that's mentally good for me to make in a day, and then I just stop. Never go for the big hitters anymore. Yeah, it is kind of a little sad to like be humbled like that, but at the same time, I think to some extent it is good to take the small wins and be consistent. Obviously, just control the losses, and that's how over time you'll be the most profitable, in theory. I had a 20+ day green streak, and it made me feel making 1K in a day isn't good. Yeah, no, I think I had like a similar thing last year. The market was just moving like so good for my strategy. Like, I don't know if I just got lucky or if I just had the best strategy ever. But like last summer, or just before summer, I went from like the middle of May to the middle of June or July without like a single red day either. Or like maybe I'd have like one red day in like a week towards like July or something. And yeah, I thought this is like kind of the same thing. I was like, shoot, I win most like 90%, 80% of the time. It's either a win or a break even. So I would take trades that like just weren't good. Even like on a 50K account, I got, what was it? Like 6 payouts on the Apex 50K accounts. I was literally risking like sometimes almost $1,000 per trade, which is literally almost half the draw, like almost half the drawdown on the 50K counts. And then I'd usually make like 400 to 700 on the trade. Again, not the best risk to reward. But like just with my strategy, it's like I should have been happy with like 200 to 400, but I was like going for like 750 because that was like the max you can make with the consistency rule on Apex. But like it just worked for me, and I just like made money, passed accounts, got payouts, and like I just had very few losses because I'd go break even. I guess in a good spot. Like I guess it was like a good strategy, but eventually just stopped working where most of my trades just turned into break-even trades because the market just started moving differently. And then the losses were just, I wasn't able to like recover from the losses. Went from March to April without a red day. Dang, yeah, it's nice. It's nice to get those kind of months, but it does make it hard because as good as it is, and hopefully you're able to take advantage of, you know, getting payouts and profits during that time. But then the double edge of that sword is then you're overconfident. That was my case. I was so overconfident that like even after one, maybe two losses, I knew like, okay, well the next one has to be a win because I know my strategy works. And then when it wasn't, that's when I started basically overtrading and blew up my accounts. And obviously let the emotions get the better of me. Overtraded, maybe even took trades that weren't even A+ setups, like all the typical mistakes. But yeah, Marquez has been doing a lot of the V shapes. I think that's what kind of, again, messed up my strategy even last year. It's just like it started doing the V shapes as well, kind of in like September, August of last year. Which was, and like with the election stuff coming up too, like the market got kind of, well, just really hard to trade. And then this year's been better at times, but then still not the best at times. But yeah, I just got overconfident, market changed. I didn't adapt very well, got prideful. And yeah, super easy to lose a lot of money when you get greedy or prideful, overconfident. Do you journal trades or use your video clips as journaling? Well, at the time, I actually did do a decent job at like, I had like a Google spreadsheet, and every day I basically just like write down like I had the date, and then I just like write down like kind of just like my like a trade. It was more of a log. I didn't really journal it in the sense of like this is the trade I took and this is like why it was bad or good, which I should have done. I just kind of wrote down like the wins and losses just to keep track of, yeah, like my win rate, my profit, and just like my strategy to see how a strategy was actually doing. And I do feel like when I was doing that, that was kind of what helped me do so well, is because I was just aware of like all the statistics of my strategy and why it worked and stuff. But I didn't journal my individual trades and like why, oh, that trade was bad because of this or that. Like I did obviously mentally journal and like learn from my mistakes, but I do think, like you said, video clips, I think that's been a little bit better just since streaming because I hold myself a little bit more accountable just because people are watching, but also like it's on YouTube and I can go back and watch all my streams. And like as I'm like making clips for TikTok or YouTube Shorts, I'll go back and I'll see like the trades I take. And even the other day, I took like a bear flag. I was like, ended up being a loss. I was like, wait a sec, that wasn't even like, I could see reasons why, you know, I shouldn't have taken that. So it's definitely like I'm able to go back and analyze and kind of journal and learn from stuff, but like I still don't quite do the, you know, journal every single trade with like a super, you know, super accountable I was gonna say like strategy, but it's just I guess like yeah, the way that you journal. I don't know if that makes sense. One thing I found what I was doing when I went on that streak was journaling and analyzing my trades. Since I've dropped that, my trading has been up and down. I need to start doing that again. Yeah, again, that's kind of what I was saying and thinking as well. Like I wasn't truly journaling, but I was just kind of keeping track of like it's like oh, I took one trade and I won, and it's like I took another trade and like my goal. I think part of it too was just like the goal of seeing the daily P&L be green. It helped me just kind of like stop trading. Like even on a day like today, it's like I'm up 260 and the market's not giving me a lot of opportunities. Might as well just be done, right? And I think it did help me just lock in green days. And it kind of made me realize as well, it's like, oh, I've taken 8 trades today. That's a lot of trades. I shouldn't do that. And also like, you just, yeah, being accountable, taking the time to go in, type it out, put in my P&L and the losses and stuff. But also a lot of the prop firms recently that I've been trading with, they kind of do that for you. That's another reason why I kind of stopped, because like I kind of felt like, oh, what's the point? Because especially with like Tradeify and even Funny Ticks. Funny Ticks has literally like a monthly calendar with like all my daily P&Ls, and I can click on the day and see all my trades. So like because it does that for me, I don't really need to do that. But that's also not to say that I shouldn't still be doing something to kind of keep that accountability up. Yeah, the Funny Ticks platform it's clean, it's nice. Shows you like your week 1, week 2, all the P&Ls, daily P&Ls on the calendar. Definitely just like it looks good and like it's nice. It's how I put it. Has all your stats like number of days traded, biggest loss, biggest win, profitability, win rate, all that fun stuff. Currently on my one of my Funny Ticks accounts, I still have a 74% win rate, so that's pretty good, I guess. Yeah, I know it's nice. That's why I have a lot of their accounts right now, because they just have like some of the cheaper accounts with like the better rules. So it's just nice, I would say. I'm at 2/1, maybe 3/1 traders. What the stats show me? Okay. I think that's good. I'm not sure what I am. Oh wait, I'm looking at like my account stats. I think it might be like in the overall stats. Loss is a little bit larger, but still 65% profitable. Hey, as long as it's over 50. Well, I guess if your losses are bigger, then it isn't necessarily guaranteed, but typically, yeah, like if you're over 50%, yeah, like a 65%, 70% win rate. More than enough to be profitable if you manage your risk correctly. Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, love Funny Ticks. It's one of the reasons why I promote them a little bit and have a code. Also, they're the only people that give codes to small like creators. I tried to apply for like Apex and like Take Profit Trader and Tradeify, but Tradeify never got back to me. Apex said I didn't yet meet the requirements for their stuff. I don't know what their requirements were, because I asked them, it's like, well, how many subs do I need or how many followers? And they said like, oh, we don't actually have a set number. we just care about consistency. And I'm like, well, I stream every day, so like, is that not like enough consistency for you? I don't know. And then Take Profit Trader said something, like, they didn't give me an exact reason either. They said like I was missing some criteria. But Funny Ticks, they'll just give you a code. So right now that's all I got. Funny Ticks code BANG if you want 20% off or 35% off your first purchase. Would support me and I'd appreciate it. But obviously do what you want. Yeah, no, they're 35% off sales. That's like it's a good amount because it keeps their accounts at like what I would consider a good price. And it's nice they still have that for like the new customers. But I think just because they are becoming more solidified in the community and they're not like as new of a firm, I think they are just kind of raising their prices and their sales aren't quite as nice as they were. But I imagine like Black Friday or other kind of but that's what I was thinking as well. It's like wouldn't they want as many people with codes as possible for revenue? Because like some people, it's like they buy the accounts anyways, so it's like whether they use my code or someone else's code doesn't matter. But yeah, it's like for people that are new to the stream on TikTok or YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, what's Funny Ticks? Oh, what's Take Profit Trader or Apex?" And I'm like, "Hey, use my code and you can get a discount." Like in theory, because like I know a decent amount about sales. I didn't do some like summer sales or door-to-door sales, but like I learned a little bit about it, had some friends do it, and like that's a little different because obviously like they do pay for a little bit of what you do to be out there and like to train you and stuff. But there's some like sales jobs, like remote sales or things where like they literally make more money if you make money. Like it's like they don't actually have any expense hiring you because they're not hiring you. They literally only have to pay you if you make them money because it's commission based. And this is the same thing. Like Take Profit Trader doesn't lose money by giving me a code. But if I can give them a sale that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise, they make money. So, like you said, you'd think that they'd want to give out as many codes to creators as possible. And I'd almost argue that like you should give codes to small creators even more so than like the new creators. Or I mean the older ones. I said like the same thing there. Like the newer, smaller ones, because I had an argument for it, but I'm kind of trying to remember what it exactly was. But basically, oh yeah, I remember now. As a small creator, basically I was thinking, give like someone like me, if you gave me like an Apex code, and maybe even made the code a little bit better than some of the other people. I know that's not quite how it works because they like to obviously give creators with more followers better codes and better deals and commissions and stuff. But like if you give a small creator, let's say like with Apex usually has 80% off. But like let's say like a small person, you give them 85% off, right? Just like think about it for a sec. That would basically give me a selling point like, hey, use my code to get 85% off. So then people would start using my code and people would basically find my channel because I have a better code than everyone else, which would help me grow as a creator, which would then bring more people to Apex, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of just like a momentum thing. Like they could help me grow by giving me just like a reason for people to follow me and use my code over someone else. But then as I grow, I can continue to promote them more and more as I have more followers. And like maybe it's not quite that simple, but like that's one way I might look at it. Is like invest a little bit into the small creators. Not like any creator maybe, but the ones who have potential. Invest in them. Give them a nice code. Because everyone right now, it's like, oh shoot, like if they're watching the big streamers, like Patrick Wheeland or whoever, it's like they'll keep watching them and using their code, which is fine. But then if you kind of you take away some of his viewers and kind of spread out and help other people grow and build as well. I don't know. Just some thoughts that I had, but I don't know if that's actually how it ended up working. Made like $400 on a small sell at 24,960. Oh, nice. Looks like you kind of timed got the top there. There. It's nice. Looks like I might have even like a bull flag or something here. Price action is not terrible. We're definitely not getting like a lot of, I don't know, like opportunities. Like this could be one. But yeah, price action has just been a little, not, I don't even want to say slow because the ATR has been like super high and volatile. And it's not really chopping, but yeah, it's not a lot of setups. Definitely got like, yeah, like a just good little trend going. A little pullback. But yeah, still a little unsure of what we exactly want to do here. But it's a Friday, so wouldn't be surprised if we kind of just keep going up all day. Fridays are tricky because they can either be really choppy and like hard to trade, or they're just kind of like, they just slow grind up all day. Yeah, buyers kind of failing to push up this, or push up through this. Still might, though. I imagine we do. Cause yeah, if we like sell and take out these lows, or even get back down to this area, definitely would be a little hard to know what's gonna happen. Might be a good kind of indicator that we're gonna just chop around for the rest of the day. But also could set up a nice little short. I feel like if we were gonna go short, we kind of would have around here somewhere. Either would have gone a little bit lower here, or maybe like took out the lows on this move down. So yeah, I imagine we still go up for now. Oh yeah, a bunch of lines from yesterday. So the next area is at like 180. That's where like yesterday's high was. Yeah, you're right there. So yeah, I got a lot of room to go up here. If that's what we want to do. Guess we'll just have to be patient here. IDK, I feel like I can short. Definitely can. Like I said, I definitely could take these lows out and get back here. Definitely doesn't mean we'll chop for sure, because we could get a reversal setup. Still. Yeah, we kind of failed to do that earlier. But yeah, it doesn't mean we couldn't try again. Yeah, that was what I was kind of thinking. Slow chop grind. But this selling candle is a little heavier than the last couple. Could break out, take out the lows, maybe. Looks like it kind of wants to go. Could get this 5-minute inverse, which might actually might have to take here. We'll see though. Still have 3.5 minutes till the close on the 5-minute. So a lot could happen in 3 minutes. But if we hold below these kind of 80s, I definitely would be tempted to go for the short. I'm tempted to take one more trade. Oh shoot. Don't do it. Just kidding. Could be, if it's an A plus setup, I mean, who am I to stop you? But I guess you gotta weigh all the risk, right? Are you okay accepting a break-even day after being up $800, after especially losing your $900 and making it back? Because if that's gonna like make you super either emotional or just like tilted, definitely best not to do. But if after everything that's happened, if you're still okay risking your profits to make some more, then hey, that's kind of the way to do it. Because like I said, I've gone through that same thing where like it's hard for me to make a lot of money because I want to just like lock in the winning day. Like, oh, I'm up 260 or like 500. Why would I trade more? But also there's the other way looking at it where when you're up, you know, $800, you now have $800 worth of risk to make even more money. Back up to 24,900 maybe. I think so, maybe. Especially we're at the 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart. We could hold it here, but it's definitely looking like it wants to kind of flip short here. We just took out the lows. Also, Star, thank you for the follow. Oh, looks like he might have left the stream already. Rest in peace. I mostly trade better when I have profits. That makes sense. Yeah, the momentum and I guess the way my friend would probably put it is you're trading fake money. Because it's like you make money, but it's like until you like stop trading in the day, it's like, yeah, it's like you're technically just trading kind of the fake money and you're kind of, it's like, oh, I can take another trade for free basically. And if I lose, then it's like, I guess I just didn't make any money today, but it's not the end of the world. I don't always think like that, obviously, because Like we talked about, I like to lock in those wins and keep the money I make. But I totally see the momentum side, like you were talking about. And obviously, with a lot of propfirm accounts, it's hard to do that because you can only make so much money in a day.
Order submitted.
All right, definitely a little heavier with the selling going on. Let's see if we can pull back to the 80s. That's where I'll probably try and get in. But looks like I might just go without us, without me. We had a nice close on the 5 minutes. Dang, yeah, seller's super. Almost went longer on 75. Good thing I didn't. Oh yeah, that would have been tragic. Down like 50 points almost. Yeah, still wouldn't mind the short if we pull back, but might be asking for too much if it pulls back to 80, 81. Dang, yeah, seller's very strong right now. A lot of momentum. If we look at Delta, we're just diving off of a cliff. Still doing that one move and just reversing. Typical. Yeah, pretty much. A little bit of support at the top of the 15-minute opening range. Yeah, struggling to get that continuation with some of these moves. Ooh, just made another 300. Let's go. That's what we like to hear. Seller's still holding up here. The buyers were trying to support that a little bit. But it looks like the sellers might break through this soon. Could be wrong though. I'm just trying to decide for myself. If we get back up to the 80s, are the shorts still the play? Or is the move kind of already playing out? And if we get back up there, does that mean the longs are back in play? I think if we go back up there now, it might not be bad. But if we start to take out these lows here and then go back up, probably not going to try and get the shorts. Yeah, definitely right here. Don't want to be taking any trades. I mean, if you look at the 5 minutes, kind of at this spot, you can see we kind of just barcoded around this area. And we're kind of just seeing at the bottom of that barcode. So we could kind of continue maybe some chop in this area since we've had a lot of volume here before. I know that random pop was like, oh shoot, maybe we'll go back up, but now we're out of now we're back down. So I don't know.
Order canceled.
Probably just cancel that order. I don't know if we're gonna get back up to the 80s, and if we do, it might be because we have a lot of buyers. And if we have a lot of buyers, I don't really want to be trying to sell. Well, it looks like it could make its way back down to the lows here, maybe. We just didn't get like a good enough setup to really be a part of this. Looking for long now. Could be the move. We're holding that 15 minutes range, staying above it for now. Looks like we're getting above the 9 EMA, possibly the 21 as well. Maybe back above the overnight highs. Definitely what I would say could be nice. Question is, will we get back up to the 80s? Will it actually hold that? Or is that kind of the level that, you know, it's like, okay, now the longs are good. That is always the question with some of these moves. Because this could just be like a little pullback to continue shorter. But also could be the buyers just coming back. So we held that fair value gap right there, both of those pretty decently, and that little pop there is a good sign as well. That might have been the pullback we need to continue lower. Oh yeah, they're not done yet apparently. Jeez, yeah, a little crazy. Crazy. Dang, yeah, hard to imagine we don't go lower after that. After that 1 minute close below the gap and below the 15-minute range, and obviously big rejection here. I imagine we definitely go lower. Just doesn't want to go long today. Pretty much. I mean, it looks like that's kind of what we wanted to do at first, right? We kind of took the lows out, took these highs, held on the pullback and went up, but we just didn't get very far before kind of chopping around and then falling back. What's going to happen if there's two fair value gaps? That's a good question. Because sometimes we do get like two like this. And I mean, I think I'd agree with Chop City, range bound, something like that. But also you could look at it like this green one got inversed and then also made a red one. So you'd almost see it as like some good bearish bias. Not one I'm gonna take, but like some people it's like, yeah, like you inverse the gap and then it hits it and rejects it. But then also sometimes you just hit a bearish one, like a red one, and then it goes down. So don't know. But yeah, it could just be kind of range bound, especially where we're at. We're literally hugging the 15-minute range high right now, which we've already kind of put in some volume earlier. And it's almost 9 o'clock. I imagine we kind of just like, we bounce between here and then like here for the next like 30 minutes, maybe even longer. We'll see. Long at 02, taking off at 40. Could be good, especially with that range bound idea. Yeah, imagine we do get up kind of back to the top of the range here. I haven't taken any trades today. It's been weird. Yeah, it definitely has been a little weird. I've just taken like one trade. I could have 20. Well, there you go. You still made some money. Yeah, that was also looking kind of good on the 5-minute. This doji typically can be a sign of like a reversal, right? Not always, but when you kind of make a move like this and get the doji, and then you kind of go down into it a little bit and reject that back up. Another good sign on the 5-minute that the longs could play out. But again, I almost think might kind of bounce here and arrange back down. Down here, back up, and down, something like that. But I also could take out the highs here, pull back, and then continue higher. So it's kind of the options I'm seeing right now. Back up to 1K. Let's go. If I would have entered at the low we made, I'd be up 2K on 2 minis already. Shoot. Hey, hindsight's always 20/20. Might call it here. Definitely not a bad idea. I might have to here soon also. Just since we're not getting any moves really, we might start chopping. Hopefully it doesn't chop or I'm playing BF6. Yeah, that might be the move. Definitely be nice if it doesn't chop, get some more trades in before the weekend. But might happen. I still need to get BF6. So far it's been pretty good. I haven't played a lot of it. I just haven't had a lot of time like off stream. But maybe this weekend I'll play a little bit more. Actually, I don't know if I'll have time. I might be busy tonight with some stuff, and then tomorrow I got a volleyball tournament like all day. So we'll see. We'll see. I do need to play some more so I can be a little bit better at it when I do play it on stream. But it does seem like it's going to be a pretty good game. I also waited a little bit to buy it just to make sure it had a good launch and everything, but it does seem like it's holding up pretty well. So if you like Battlefield games, first-person shooters, it's probably the one to get this year. Strike set or defense? Are you talking about like volleyball? Like which one do I prefer? Like defending, strike set. I'll just summarize it by saying I usually play outdoor. So I usually, no, I am playing a tournament. I was just a little confused by like the question, so I was trying to figure out how to like clarify why I was confused by it. But because I mean, yeah, like typically I was just confused by like strike set or defense, like the question itself. But I used to play outdoor, just like doubles, 2v2. So typically sand volleyball, but I think the tournament tomorrow is grass. So yeah, doubles grass volleyball tournament tomorrow. So typically that is obviously you play defense, offense, set, you do all of it. And that's what I like about it. I played some indoors with some friends and even a little bit like in high school. And it's fun. But sometimes 6 people on the court, it's just a lot. And I like to touch the ball and play every single rally. So doubles is definitely more my speed. Dang, you still play basketball, but then one game threw my back out. Haven't played in 2 weeks. Dang, that sucks. Injuries are the worst. That's how it's been for me a little bit. I'm not actually old, so I feel bad saying I'm old because I know there's people out there that are a lot older than me. Also, Marcus kind of doing what I was thinking. We didn't quite get that breakout, but we are getting a little bounce down, bounce back up. Anyways, no, but like my knees, I need to like, I don't know, just do like better physical therapy or stretching or something because my knees have definitely not been the best. I feel like I'm an old man with my knees right now, just from like playing volleyball and stuff. Yeah, I know, super easy like when you're doing sports and throw your back out. I mean, I'm not even 30, but I still feel like an old man sometimes, like after volleyball when I'm walking up the stairs. Yeah, no, that's been, I think, what's definitely been saving me the most is just really focusing on some good quality lower body weight training, like squat, like slow controlled squats, and then even just like Nordic curls, I think is what it's called, or like reverse Nordics for like the quads and the hamstrings, just to keep the muscles like strong, but also like stretching them so they're not too tight. Because that's just been my issue. It's just like what I think it's called jumper's knee. Just like the muscles get really tight around the knee and they start to pull on that tendon. And like it almost seems backwards. It's like, oh, you want me to use my muscles more? But no, like doing like the slow controlled strength building actually helps so much. Yeah, leg day's huge for avoiding injuries, especially with like knee stuff. I mean, so nowadays like you just got so many like people tearing their ACLs and stuff. And I think a lot of it could be prevented if there was a bigger focus on like lower body weight training and stuff. And just doing like the right exercises. But I think like I said, I kept under control. I still play volleyball pretty frequently throughout well, I guess usually just once a week, but sometimes like twice or 3 times a week. But no, yeah, I've been focusing a little bit more on my pre-volleyball or post-volleyball workouts, just incorporating a little bit more thoughtful exercises into my routine instead of just only squats. And that's helped a lot. And even like rolling out on a foam roller, my quads, I think that's been like huge. Because yeah, I played on Wednesday and had hardly, like my knees were fine. I was doing great. But last night they were giving me a little bit they're a little sore. So hopefully stretch and get ready for tomorrow. Tips on passing evaluations. I think, let's see, if I had to keep it simple, I would say, I mean, kind of relating to sports a little bit. I mean, yeah, kind of like bet on it, like I said, slow and steady at first. When you get to the point where you're like really profitable, as an example, and you've passed a lot of evals, I mean, yeah, you can throw on a lot of contracts and try and pass it in a day or whatever. But I'd say, especially if you're new to trading and like you're trying to figure out how to pass evaluations, just take it slow and steady. And the example I was going to give is like with sports, like practice how you play is what a lot of coaches tell their players. And like that's what I was always told when I played soccer in high school. Like practice how you play. And I mean, like you said, slow and steady. Even if it takes 20 days to pass, that's okay. There's no rush when it comes to trading, because at the end of the day, it is like a professional-esque career that like once you do it right and you do it well, you can make a lot of money, but you don't need to rush into it. But yeah, if you're gonna trade a certain way with your funded account, well, why would you trade differently on the evaluation? It's just kind of bad practice to do it differently. My issue is being able to pass consistently and then pull my fundeds the first couple of days. Sometimes it's just bad luck with the market, but yeah, sometimes it is just like, I don't even know, because I've done stuff like that too. I got funded, and then literally like first day was a loss, and that's like, well, shoot. And then second day, another loss. It's like, what the heck? And you end up like blowing the account, and it's like, I thought my strategy worked. What just happened? But yeah, definitely take it slow, especially on a funded. When you're funded and you've already paid the fees and everything, literally like you're so close to getting a payout, but that doesn't mean you have to rush it. Even if you only make like $50 to $100 a day, if you can still make like All right, sorry about that. Had a phone call. Everyone who's still here, appreciate you guys waiting, hanging out. Looks like the market still didn't really go anywhere. Someone was talking about, do we see longs here? Don't know if they're still in the chat, but maybe could be some longs. We are kind of holding up here above the or around the 50-minute range high, but at the same time, kind of just chopping. I mean, I kind of predicted a little bit of it. I mean, obviously I wasn't exact here, but you know, we kind of made our way down, a little up. We did go down, back up, down. So a little hard to know for sure what's going to be going on right here. But I mean, we'll see, we'll see. Could have a nice, I don't know, it's kind of a bull flag. We're not exactly in an uptrend, so we're not really trading with the trend, but could kind of break out there. But I do think I might just end the stream here. We're kind of chopping. It's a Friday. Go enjoy my weekend. Hopefully you guys can go enjoy your weekend as well. If you enjoyed the stream, if you're still here, give me a follow for more. I'll be back Monday. Subscribe to my YouTube. Check it out. Relax. Hi, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well. Unfortunately, I'm about to end the stream, but I'll be back Monday morning, market open, to trade some more. Trade live, and yeah, be out on my YouTube as well. Feel free to check any of that out. Hope you guys have a good Friday, good weekend. Yeah, hopefully see you guys again another time. Thanks for joining the stream. See ya.